It's Real Life Topics Podcast where we converse about the dynamics of life. What's good, guys? Gonna play a little commercial. Welcome to Real Life Topics Podcast, guys, and BiggsRadio.com, guys. Welcome. You guys already know what time it is.
Hey, hey, hey.
Real Life Topics is in the building, and of course, we have a special guest. The views expressed on this program are not those of Biggs Radio, its subsidiaries, affiliates, or sponsors. It's WCHI Biggs Radio, guys, where it's real voices, real cool culture, and real radio. I'm just saying. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another Thursday night at 7 p.m. And we have a special guest in the building. Of course, you guys do know that May is Mental Health Month. And we have a beautiful special guest in the building, Miss Angelique Haynes, better known as Angie A. Love. Angie A. Love is an advocate for
Hey,
mental health.
hey, yes.
Yes, she's an advocate for mental health, self care, a fashion icon, a model, a red carpet media host, so many things, so many things. Every Biggs Radio
Yes.
and Real Life Topics podcast audience, please welcome Angie A. Love. She in the building,
Woo! Hey, hey, hey.
Miss Angie A. Love, could you tell Real
Thank
Life
you for
Topics
having
podcast?
me.
Yes. Could you tell Real Life Topics podcast and Biggs Radio audience who is Angie A. Love? We're lagging, I
Angie
see.
A. Love is it's multi everything. You specifically named a few things from advocating for mental health, advocating for self-love, suicide prevention. The list goes on. Not just that, but of course, fashion icon, modeling, poetry, singing. Of course, I'm very family oriented. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a little bit of everything. So I'm here.
Yes, welcome to Real Life Topics podcast. So, Miss Angie, what made you
Yes.
walk out on faith and just do all of these wonderful things, especially when it comes to mental health? Because, of course, guys, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and of course, you was doing this before the May. So, what made you want to become
Yes.
an advocate for mental health?
I wanted to become an advocate for mental health because I experienced a lot of trauma and I had to go through the healing of going through therapy, which I've been in therapy for 4 years now. And my progress started from, oh my God, from childhood, from being teased, um, using a lot of stuff that I've been through. Like a lot of people know the Angie A. Love as the beauty queen, as the poet, as the red carpet host, all of that. But a lot of people don't know from the smiles and the crowns the things that I went through to get to where I'm at right now. And one thing that I experienced as a child is trauma, childhood trauma, being teased, being bullied. I went through, what is that, speech classes all the way until I was in 6th grade. So I don't know, like I guess my words or whatever wasn't, I guess, responding the way it should or coming together the way it should. So I wasn't speaking properly. Like I can speak properly now, but that took a lot of growth. So you can imagine just being a child, coming from a big family, and you're the different one, as people called you, the different one. You're the weird one. You're the slow one. This is the things that I experienced as a child. So I feel like when you don't heal from your childhood, you take that into relationships, you take that within your whole life, whether you're speaking to someone or going through something. It's stuck with you basically in that box. And I always preach on getting the help you need, whether it's therapy, whether it's you have some type of spiritual background, whether it's church, whether it's organization, whatever it is, get the help you need so you're not trapped in this box, stuck on the trauma from childhood or bad relationships or anything that you've been through in your life, that you can finally get out of that box and you can free yourself and say, you know what, I'm healed. And that's why I'm here. I'm healed.
Did you have any questions, Miss Carmisha? Well, I have a question. What are some, what you, as you said before, you had a lot of trauma and things. What are some ways
Yes.
made that had you come out of that trauma? What are some ways that you are coping with that trauma?
So I think one of the biggest things is from me, like therapy. Like I said, I've been in therapy literally for 4 years straight, healing not just from the teasing, the bullying, but bad relationships, almost dying. Like it's like a list full of things. But one thing that I have learned is self-love. Within the process of healing, to love yourself, accept what is,
Mhm.
and to basically isolate from anything that's trying to break you, anything that's trying to disturb you. Because people that love you, that really genuinely love you, they're going to inspire you. They're going to uplift you. They're going to encourage you. They're not going to bring you down. They're not going to, um, throw in your face of things that you've gone through or belittle you. I believe in encouraging. So I think, like the organizations, I'm with a lot of organizations. I needed that inspiration, and pageantry has taught me like more confident, being confident in myself. Obviously, I've been Miss Infinity. I'm right now Miss Couture LaRouge. I've done a lot of titles, pageantry, and that helped with my confidence. And I think it can help
Mhm.
with a lot of other people, even if you're not into the whole pageantry. But I think like sisterhood, for example, because I know, like I said, everyone's not into the whole, they want therapy. They don't want, some people, they don't go to church. Some people may not have those beliefs, but there are organizations, sisterhood, or certain organizations that will help you push you in the direction that you need to be in. And I'm experiencing it.
Thank you for
So
tuning
what?
in. Thank you for tuning in, Tyrone and Colin Sledge. Thank you for tuning into Real Life Topics Podcast. They said, "Hey, ladies." Which you have to
Hey.
say, Carmisha? Go
Okay,
ahead,
so
Carmisha.
what I was going to ask is because there is a big stigma in the Black community with therapy and just even needing to get any kind of aid and assistance. So, at what point did you realize that you needed to seek help, that you could not do it on your own?
Because I was always sad. I think a lot of times, especially me being in the public eye, it's like you're so used to being this people pleaser. And it came from me, like I said, being teased all the time. You live in perfection. You want to be perfection. But it was a moment where I'm like, I'm not being true to me. Like, I'm literally, it's like you're, like I mentioned earlier about being in that box, you're suffering because you're literally putting on this smiley face, like, oh, I'm great. Everything's great. When you're hurting inside, you're literally hurting. And I didn't want to hurt no more. I'm like, look, I'm out this box. I'm breaking every childhood trauma. I'm breaking generational curses. I'm this is it. I'm out this box. And this was years ago. I've been in therapy for like 4 years straight, but over the years I've been on and off therapy. But I said this time I'm persistent because I want to fix me.
So, outside of loving yourself, what other things did therapy teach you about yourself?
That a lot of things wasn't my fault. I think a lot
Mm.
of times people self-blame, whether it's something, what, like I said, a lot of people have been through something traumatic in their life, whether it's relationships, whether it's childhood, and sometimes we self-blame like something's wrong with us or we're not loved or something that we did. That therapy definitely helped me understand, hey, it wasn't your fault. You were born with a disability, XYZ. You didn't deserve to be teased. You didn't deserve XYZ. It wasn't your fault. You are different. Accept you are different and own it. Live it. Don't let the teasing or people that, downed you for being different make you feel like you don't belong, because you do belong. And I accept that, you know what? I do belong. I may not be like others. I may not even talk like others, but you know what? I learned to just grasp that. You know what? I'm good with me. I love me. I love me. Because, it was a one point of time. Because, like I said, when I go back to my childhood, I was always teased, because my speech, obviously. And even like I would say maybe 10 years ago, whatever. Some people will be like, stop me, like, where are you from? And I'd be like, I'm from Chicago. You don't sound like you from Chicago. And I would get offended because I'm so used to the whole, it goes back to the teasing, like, oh, here we go, here we go. It's like a memory type of
Triggered,
thing.
being
Like,
triggered.
everybody
Being
in
triggered.
Chicago don't sound the same. Yeah, it's like a trigger. So now it's like, I can grasp it now. Like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't sound like I'm from Chicago. I'm me. I'm Angie. Like, I can grasp it without being offended anymore. So it just took time, but yeah.
You have to give yourself grace, and I think a lot of the times we don't do that. I think a lot of the times we are our worst own critic and our worst own enemy, when it comes to our self-esteem and the confidence. And confidence is a thing that you must exude in order to be able to move
Yes.
forward, because a lot of the times it stifles our success just through lack of confidence. So that's a great thing that you were able to seek out the
It
help, and you're able to
does.
actually talk about it and actually help advocate for other people, because so many times we go through things and we don't realize how our stories are able to help others cope and actually get the help that they need as well. So I
That is
commend
true.
you for that.
Yes. Yeah, that is true because actually it she actually inspired me to go, see the what you just said. You said one of the biggest things that you had was self-blame. And I have an issue with that. So I'm
Yes.
having a testimonial story right now. But yes, I have an issue with self-blame. So it's very interesting that to know that, I'm not the only one that has a problem and needs to fix that, just blaming yourself when it's really just not you. You try to come up with
Right.
excuses or yeah. So that was you actually helped me to seek out help for that. So because sometimes, like Carmisha said, you can be your own critic. You can,
Your own worst
just
enemy.
your own worst enemy.
Yes. And a
Yeah,
lot of people are stuck. A lot of people are stuck in that box of trauma. A lot of people probably been worse than me from, they may have I'm sure a lot of people went through way worse, but they're stuck in that whole box of the trauma and they're living it, and they're not just living it, but they're passing that to their kids. A lot of their trauma to their kids, because why? They have not healed. You have to heal from the things
hmm
you've been through. You have to. So you can break
Yeah.
those generational curses. So you can
hmm
start fresh.
Then you have to
And
be
I'm
able to
doing that.
reprogram your mind, because we don't even understand those small things. We can actually pass that down to our children as well. So it's good that you do get help, because you
Yes.
don't want it to continue to be a generational curse, or something that you even started with a curse within your own bloodline.
hmm That is
We all
true.
have to give
Right.
ourselves grace.
Right.
And I don't think we
So
do that enough.
mental health awareness. Um, and of course, again, Miss Angie A. Love, I'm honored. If she didn't know, I've been following you, watching you for a while now. The one of the best fashion icons. I'm talking about be sharp, dress sharp, very most motivational.
Thank
Miss
you.
Angie, yes, and you are an inspiration speaker. So if you could tell Real Life Topics Podcast and Beats Radio, how could they contact you if because you do provide those services where you speak at different events as an inspiration speaker, correct? We
Yes.
lagging.
So if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, that's Angie space ANGIE space A love ALOVE, or Instagram a.love_number 1 diva. And yes, you're right. I do a lot of speaking. This Tuesday, I am speaking at Longwood Elementary School on mental health as well. So that's just another topic. I'm just spreading awareness all over, especially to the children, because a lot of the trauma happens when you're a child.
hmm And a lot of
That
people
is
don't
true.
think they really understand
Yes.
that, a lot of issues that you have do stem from your childhood. A lot of people don't actually have that
Yes.
self-realization. Yeah, so
Bullying,
therapy. Mm-hmm.
bullying, teasing, all of that kids these days may be going through right now. I've been through it.
and
But
and
if we
it's
don't,
other avenues, other than child's trauma that you can have a mental health issue as well. I'm big on this now because this is what I'm working on, and that's things that I'm consuming in my body, people that you have around you, a lot of those things has a lot to do with
Yes.
mental health as well. So your mental got to be
Yes, I've been
correct
through
all
that.
over.
Yeah,
Yep.
relationships too. Relationships sometimes is trauma when you, especially if you're dealing with abuse, which I've been down that road as well. Dealing with someone who's physically abusing you along with mentally abusing you is still a form of trauma. It still is.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's once
Yes.
again, you have to look at it's not my fault. Don't blame yourself. It's not you. It has a lot to do with who we surround ourselves with. And sometimes our parents are not okay, believe it or not.
That
And
is
it's
true.
still not
Hmm.
our fault.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But then also
that is
shame
true.
too, the shame that comes with it, because sometimes, like you say, the self blame and the self doubt, and sometimes you feel shame to even speak upon going through a situation like that when, like you said, it's not even your fault. So certain attitudes that come with the type of abuse that you have actually hinders you from actually trying to go get help, because you don't even want people to know that you've been through half the things that you've been through. So like,
Yeah.
for you to be able to go to
Yeah, you
therapy
know
and
what? That's
actually
something
advocate
that,
is a
yeah.
great thing. Hmm.
Yes. And some people, especially men, they don't go to therapy or believe in therapy because think, oh, something's wrong with me. Oh, something's wrong with me. And a lot of people, not just men, but a lot of people may think, oh, you're crazy or something's really wrong with you. And that's why some people don't seek help. Maybe they're embarrassed, ashamed, or something in that nature. They don't want to get the help. But if you don't get any help you need, like I said, you don't always have to go to therapy, but you don't want to live in a box causing your trauma on everyone else around you either.
Yeah, because at
You
some
That is
want to
point it's
have the
true.
self
best version of
sabotage.
you in your life.
Yeah, at some point it is
Yeah.
self-sabotage, that's for sure. That is for sure. But yes, guys, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And of course, Real Life Topics Podcast wanted to make, and Miss Angie Love, special guest Miss Angie A. Love,
Yes.
wanted to make you guys aware of the importance of being mentally stable, especially for
Yes.
our children. We got to lead by example. We got children that we're raising into this world, and us as adults just have to be mentally stable. So we just wanted to make everybody aware that it is May Mental Health Awareness Month, and it's okay. It's okay if you're
Yes.
going through. It's okay if you need a phone call, if you need some help, or you need someone to talk to. Make that call. Mental health is real, and we want mental health to be of positivity, not negativity, not depression, not worrying. We want positive things to be in our mind and in our mental. It's just important, guys. But again, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and Miss Angie, special guest Miss Angie A. Love. By the way, I love that name, Miss Angie A. Love. And
Thank
our
you.
topic for in our and of course it's Stephanie Skychild and Carmisha, the Sunflower Soul in the building as well. So I'm just saying. But
Yes.
our topic for today is what happened to us. What happened to us, guys?
What
What
happened to
happened
the
to us,
community? What
Carmisha?
happened to our foundation? What happened to, like you speak upon our mental health? We had so many things about us have diminished, and maybe even in our younger state, maybe we were looking through what they call the rose colored glasses. And as you get older, you come to so many realizations of life and what is real versus the delusion. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, even as parents, you try to shield your child from certain things, certain parts of the world that you think will diminish them, but a lot of the times you actually hinder them, because when they do get into the real world, it's like a slap in the face. You know what I mean? So, like I said, what happened to us? What happened to our kinship? What happened to brotherhood? What happened to sisterhood? I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, there were a lot of boy and girl groups. We don't have a lot of that right now. Those were the things that kind of showed us how to be together. You know what I mean? Be as a unit, be as one. Men and women don't get
Right.
along. They
Hmm.
say you cut the head off, the body follows. And it's like there are so many things that kind of keeps us from that. You have all these negative connotations on TV, like the Bad Girls Club. And why is it only like that with women though? Because at one point we were very strong in our sisterhood.
Yeah.
What happened to
Yes.
us? We don't have though. Even men. It was some song that I was looking at. It was from back in the day. I can't, don't quote me on what it was, but it was a lot of men. They were together. They were singing. Like the R&B guys. It's like now you're soft. if you listen to
Mhm.
R&B music, where's the love? What happened to us? What happened to our hearts? What happened to our bodies and our souls? There are so many things that we need to get together to be able to do. No one person can do it all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to us?
Yeah.
I
What happened
agree.
to
Yeah.
us? Where do we
Yeah. What
start
happened?
to mend ourselves back together? And it's especially it starts with mental health, really. In order
It
to be able
does.
to, yeah, in order for us to be able to get to a certain point, you have to be able to change your mentality, right? It starts somewhere. So I don't know. It's like I wish I had a million and two hands to be able to reach out and do all these different things, but I can't do it on my own. So it's like I would love to solicit us as a people to just put this on our minds, to be able to get together and see what you can do, because you may not be able to do anything, but you can definitely do your part.
Yeah, it's definitely a drought on unity. Of course, compared to 50 years ago, 50 or 60 years ago. I mean, we had the village, we had the block, we had the neighbors taking care of the kids. So
Right.
what did happen to what happened? What happened to us? What really happened to
It
us?
was no
Because
more village. That's what happened. No more village. You
Mm-hmm.
can't you can't spank your kids in public and all of that no more. The teacher can't spank your kids. That all that stopped. Everybody was raised, at least when I was growing up, my neighbors was raising us. We got in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
we got whooped with our neighbors. Nowadays, no, somebody's ready to fight you, you hit their kid. That
yes,
dynamic is
yes.
so different now. It's so different because it's not the village anymore. It used to be the village when I was growing up. There was a whole village, but that village is no longer. That's
Or
what's
even when you
missing.
saw abuse,
The
even when you saw
unity.
abuse, yeah, the unity. When you saw abuse, men would get together and make sure the woman was taken care of.
Mhm.
Now it's like you can see somebody getting beat up on the corner, people just walk past. You be stuck on the side
Everybody's
of
Hey,
the road, won't
recording,
nobody come help
recording. They
you.
recording. Woman getting beat up and you recording, recording. That's it. It's no
It's
yeah,
more the
crazy.
unity.
It's like
none
audacity.
whatsoever.
The audacity is at an all-time high, and the foolishness is very much so real. And it's like we're passing it down to each generation. Cause like I'm pretty sure our grandparents said the same thing about us. We was a little bit more unhinged than they are, but it's like we was the last of the Mohicans of people that had some sense, and maybe their generation said the same thing. But you
Right.
know, we would get upset when be a little lenient, but leniency is a lot of the reason why we got here too, because there is no structure in our environments.
Yeah, there's definitely no structure.
I
There's
agree with
definitely
that.
no that.
No
Yeah.
structure. Hmm.
Kids having kids as well nowadays. It's like they're getting younger, having children. So that's because mentally, let's get back to mental health. Mentally, you're not stable, having children at a young
Hmm.
age. So
But
mentally,
to
you're
be
not
honest with you,
ready
that's
for
the
that.
minutes. That was our generation. Our generation. They're not even doing that no more. If you think about it, you don't see a lot of babies having babies. That was the generation before them. Now
Well, I
it's
know a
just they're
lot of them kids
unhinged.
out south and out west, in Chicago. They being raised by young girls. Young girls, that's why they outside robbing and doing all this at 11 and 12.
Yeah.
Because them girls be young that's producing them young men's and YNs is what they
And then
call
you
them.
wonder where the parents at. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. Because they
A lot of
young and
working
not.
though.
Mm-hmm.
Working. The foundation has crumbled. A lot of the time, because everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses now, so everybody is working and not paying attention to the kids. And I mean, even still, our parents worked, but there was still a
Right.
certain foundation laid to where we knew that if we did certain things, we was
Yes.
gonna be. You can't,
Hmm.
baby. You are a representation of me. Where is the valor? Where is the integrity? Where is the morals? We don't have those things anymore, and
So what do
it's a
you
very
guys think the
sad
issue
state.
is? What do you guys think the issue is? What do you think what do you think made those things just that dynamic just change around? What was the problem? What is the problem?
I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a multitude of things that have occurred. Like I said, one is the influence of TV, because we got the internet now and TV now, so it's a lot of children being exposed to
Cell
things very
phone,
early.
social media,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh. There's a lot of
social
exposure
media,
to
all of that.
things.
Yep.
Uh-huh. And is there is no what do you call it when you put a cap on something? There's no boundary to it. Like kids see everything. 18 years or older is really only a
Right.
button away. Are they really gauging who is on these websites, or you know what I mean? Like it's too much. even
I
right now,
also think
like
it had.
we don't.
I also think it was the parent. Its parents. I think 50 years ago, which I don't think I know that the statistics, because 80%, 85% of of the black neighborhoods were married versus today is only 20%. So I think one of them, like you said, it's a multitude of things. The two parent household is missing as well, I think, because it
Right.
was more of
It
a
is.
solid foundation and
Mhm.
more was family abundance, family back in the day. I think that's I know for a fact it is a big void nowadays, because again, 40 years ago, 85% of blacks were married, two parent households
Yeah,
50
but it's a
years ago.
generational gap because even right now you can still have a two-parent household and the kids still,
Well, that's
you know what I
because they
mean? Like
toxic now.
it's the
That's because the
influence.
parents out there
Yeah, that's what
bad.
I'm
The parents
saying.
out there
Right.
bad now.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Back then, they wasn't
It's a
out
lot of
there bad.
toxic. It's a lot of toxic behavior. You know, you had grandma and grandpa.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
some kind of wisdom. There was no wisdom. You know what I mean? To actually sit the kids down. Don't nobody want to even deal with the problem now. Your kid do something, it ain't my problem. I'm about to go do this, honey. I ain't got nothing to do with that. It ain't my issue, but it is your issue because what they say, children are the future. And if children are the future, when they grow up, what is our future going to be like? We don't know how
And
to
it
care
takes
for
a
each other. There is no
village.
love.
And
There's
it
no
takes a
love.
village. It takes a village,
It
and that
does.
whole village foundation is gone now. Just totally gone. Just totally gone. So it's just a lot of multitudes of things that I think that just is the reason of what happened to us, and in what ways could we just make these things better, you know?
I mean, but like she
I
was
just
saying, we need to be able to advocate. Let's just say, we talking about the family
Facts.
harvest.
Mhm.
You have to even though you may not be able to like do it, have the be all see all of whatever's going on. We need to have the Boys and Girls Club because there were also things to supplement when the parents
Right.
weren't able to be around. We don't have those things anymore.
Sure
Kids used to
was.
dance. It was sports. All the things that we had. We don't have them anymore. They're non-existent. They're
and the ones
non-existent.
that
There
we
were
do
things.
have,
Even in
they're
the
very
schools, there
expensive
was a
too.
lot of like activities in school. Like a lot of schools don't have
Uh-huh,
like when I was growing up, they had like the double dutch, they had like choir. A lot of
uh-huh,
those are not even in
uh-huh,
schools anymore.
uh-uh.
All the extra activities that kids could do are no more.
But don't nobody want to deal with the
And
kids
that's
because
a
the
part of
kids
the
are messing
problem
now. They don't even
too.
have respect. The kids do not respect the adults. So how
Right.
can I teach somebody who don't even respect me?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I
Bingo.
said, it's a snowball effect of just like I said, morals, boundaries, understanding, respect, certain principles that we just don't carry anymore. We don't carry them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a party. Everything is about a party. You know what I'm saying? Or money. Like I said, nothing of value, nothing of real value, nothing of real substance.
Right. Nothing of
You can say,
importance. Yes, nothing of
and we're distracted
importance.
Pretty
too.
much.
Like I said, the
Yeah.
internet, the internet messed us up, y'all. The internet is a big part of this. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah. Which you think is
Kids don't even go
80%,
outside and play
is
no
eighty
more. They would
twenty.
rather be they would rather be in front of a tablet than go out. You couldn't pay me to sit in front of a TV if outside was available to me.
We were still trying to
Uh-uh.
make it in before the street lights came on. We had to be in before the street lights came on, and we was begging. We used to have to beg. Well, can we please just sit on the porch, please? Because we had
Mm-hmm.
to be in that house with them street lights on. We had to try to beg just to sit on the porch. I mean, these kids, we looking for them at the dark now. I don't understand.
Now you don't have to look for them because they in their room on that phone, baby. They right
Yeah,
there. You ain't got to look for
Pretty
them. They on
much.
that phone,
Right.
they
That.
on that tablet.
right. You sure
Yeah.
go. They don't go nowhere. They stay in front of their
Don't go
game.
nowhere.
Their Roblox and Fortnite and them, they taking over. Social media and the games is taking over. So it's
I
definitely,
guarantee you, had they put a cap on social media and things of that nature, it would be a big change.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're
It
we're all
definitely,
being distracted at this
I
point.
agree.
It's not just the kids; it's us too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it is. It
Right.
is. Yes. It's definitely the adults, because we have to lead by example and don't allow, because I know some households that don't even allow their children to watch TV or even
Uh-uh.
be on social media. And actually I
I
was
know we
younger
couldn't
then when
grow
I first.
me growing up. We couldn't even watch music videos growing up at my dad's at all.
Okay. Uh-uh.
So that structure, it needs to still be structures in everybody's household, but some people let their kids do whatever. And there is no structure.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for tuning
Yeah, but
in,
then you
Avocado Note them, and Miss Dinah Lynn Biggs is in the building. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Dinah Lynn.
and shout
Yes,
out to
but
all.
yeah.
We're global right now, so shout out to everybody everywhere who is tuning in, watching us.
Yes, well, shout out to
Yes.
everybody from Atlanta. We international. We in Germany. Germany is
Mhm.
listening now. We got a lot
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
listeners from all over the world. So thank you guys for tuning in. Miss Dinah Lynn Biggs said, great conversation.
And give
But
us your
yes, what?
opinion. Let us know how you all feel.
Yes.
Yes, but or
Right.
call 773-462-4447. We taking calls too as well. So call in, guys. But yes, what happened to us? And that's a lot of things that just happened to us. And I wish we could just get back to how it used to be, because it
And
is
people
what
don't
it
want to talk
is,
about
but
it,
it
but
ain't what
the
it used to be.
government happened to us too, but we don't want to talk about that. That's another story for another
Mm-hmm.
time.
Oh,
The
the government.
infiltration.
It's the truth.
Okay, the infiltration. I'm just saying now, we don't want to skip them because it ain't just us. Something got. I'm just saying it's like a
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Take
parasite.
accountability. Take accountability. We ain't gonna talk about what somebody else didn't do. Take accountability. Look, I'm sounding like my mama now. Take accountability for yourself. It don't matter what nobody else did.
That's not true. That's not true. We all are affected. But you are a product of your environment. If the environment that you have been planted into is not one that is going to nourish you, is you're bound to come out with weeds.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
I agree with her on that because a lot of trauma and mental health has a lot to do with what your environment. So I actually agree with her on
Uh-huh.
that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Big
Uh-huh.
time.
Yes.
And
It's the environment.
we
It's what
had
you
that.
grow up in.
Yes.
It's what you're around.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And we know about the crack epidemic where they took a lot of things from us as far as, it was the party scene where everybody was kicking, and then all of a sudden it changed. They started planting guns and drugs and start taking away education and funding for the kids for the Boys and Girls program and all the things that we had. I remember back in the day, we used to grown people would get outside and have like softball games, exercising. You know what I mean? Like, remember, it was basketball courts everywhere. I mean, it was just so much for us to do, even if we didn't have anything to do. We made things to do. You know what I'm saying? We saw each other every day. You barely see your neighbor now.
Hmm.
As I
But
think
yeah.
about it, no, don't. Barely.
Yeah. Yeah, you barely see your neighbor, and your neighbor's most likely a mess anyway, so you can't even say hey to him. It just ain't like it used to be. It
And
is what
everybody
it
trying to
is.
hide. You don't want nobody to know what you got going on, and because you're worried about who gonna judge you. Okay, y'all, but listen, it's my time.
Right. You got to go in and work. All right.
I
Well,
gotta go. I love
Yes.
thank you
y'all.
so
Thank you for
much.
having me today. I will be
Love
back soon.
you.
All right. But yes, mental health awareness, guys. We got Miss Angie A. Love in the building, and we were just talking about, if you guys missed anything, we were talking about what happened to us, and that's just as far as 50 years ago versus today, and how social media and a lot of things are just a part of damaging our community. Unity. It's a drought on unity. It's a drought on a lot of things nowadays that is a part of hindering our growth and development as a unit. Solid foundation is big for me. So I again, Angie, I just don't know what happened to us, but we we can be a part, because Angie, of course, is a mental health advocate, and Real Life Topics is always about discussing the dynamics of life and coming up with ways to make things better, because none of us are perfect and we need to just make things better. We got a whole generation that's looking at us, and we just need to do better. We really do. We really need to do better. But yes, Miss Angie, do you what do you think is the most important thing of mental health? Why do you think even just having your mental healthy is important?
Well, like I stated earlier, it's important because you're in the box. Like I said, you are literally in the box dealing with all kind of emotions, all kind of trauma. You're dealing with that. And not only are you dealing with that, but you're carrying that everywhere you go, basically. And by you carrying that trauma and everything that you're going through, you're bound to basically explode. So that's why I always speak on healing. You have to heal from it. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that someone had put you through. It could be something within self. You may have a disability, you may have a disorder. It's something within you, but you still need to get the help that you need so you're not stuck in this box carrying all this trauma with everyone else. You hear stories of a woman, she attacked all her kids, or a man, he killed his family, or all these things. And the number one thing they say is what? Mental health, or this person was not mentally stable. They basically, like I said, in that box. And what are you doing? You carrying all of that trauma, everything that you're going through. Basically, you're keeping it in, and you're not getting the help you need. You're not letting it out. You're just carrying it. And what happens? You're carrying it with everyone else. And what does it do? It affects everyone around you. That's why
Yeah.
getting help is so important. It's so important. That's why I'm so strong on this. Get the help you need. Who cares what anybody thinks? It's about you, bettering you. That's what it's about.
What do you think is some things that they can do? Because we do, some people are embarrassed. Like you said, don't be
Yeah.
embarrassed. Go out and seek help. So, what do you think some other ways, if you are suffering mentally and you don't want to really tell anyone your business, or you are embarrassed? Do you know of any other avenues that you can find some help for mental health other than maybe signing up for the therapist? Because you might not want to talk to the therapist.
Right. And that's understandable, because I don't know people personally that don't. And that's why I mentioned earlier, if you don't want to do therapy, that's perfectly fine. But my thing is, some people, if you believe in God or whatever spiritual background you believe in, go to church, for example. There's always someone in the church home to help you, to lead you. And of course, having a personal relationship with God or whoever you serve, that's important as well. Because that, to be honest, that's stronger than any therapist. The relationship with
It
God,
sure is.
that's number
Yes, it
one.
is. Yes, it
That's number
is.
one. So if you have that, of course, therapy is just like the second, third that can help you during this lifetime. But if you have that spiritual, or wanting that spiritual, trust me, there's a church on every couple blocks or so. Go to a church. There's always a friend, a neighbor. There's always certain organizations, for example, a lot of organizations that can lead you in that direction spiritually, believe it or not.
Yes, that is true. And
So it's
for shout
always,
for sure, because of course, if God is number one in your life, that is the first part of help, because he will lead you into where you need to be for help.
yes,
So that's for sure, Angie. The first thing on the list, seeking mental peace, is definitely the man above. Speaking of the man
yes.
above, shout out to God. I gotta give God a shout out.
Amen.
And I want to thank him. I want
Yes,
to thank him for waking us up today. It's almost the end of the week, and we still waking up, breathing, and we're going to continue to wake up and breathe through the grace of God, if it's his will anyway. But
right.
shout out to you, God. Thank you so much for just keeping us strong, and you are definitely a part of peace and for our mental. So if you guys do not know of, and I ain't trying to get I'm spiritual, I'm not
Yes,
religious, I'm very spiritual, but just know that there is a higher being that is covering over us on the daily basis. So thank you, God, for that, for sure. Thank you. But yes, like you say, it's just all type of different avenues that we can have to cleanse our mental health. Again,
right.
I'm going through cleansing my mental health. I was being diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, and so now I found out that the things that I am eating is deterring me mentally. That goes with
Mm,
alcohol and everything. That deters your mental, the things that you put in your body as well. Another thing that I have been learning that will deter your mental is your surroundings, the people, that the energy
yes.
that people bring. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
very aware of energy that people bring, and that could be a downer as well when it comes to mental health. So it's all type of avenues that you we can seek help for mental health, and just for our mental to just be cleansed. How about that? Because it's just all
Right.
about our mental being cleansed.
I agree with that. I still agree with that. Big time.
Yes. So
And it's good you
Angie,
notice that, because some people don't. Yeah.
Yeah, some people don't
Go ahead.
realize that again, because when you hear mental, sometimes most of the time when people hear mental health, they be like, "Oh, I ain't crazy, ain't nothing wrong with me." But no,
Mm-hmm.
it affects you on your daily basis. The things that you do, the things that you're saying, the people that you're putting around you, your decision making, all that affects your mental. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you just crazy or you handicapped or something wrong with you, because we're discussing mental health. Your mental has to be
Right.
clear. It definitely, especially when you're raising
And that's
children
just
and
with
you're raising.
anything. Even if you don't have any disorders, or even if you don't have any disabilities, some people right now, their mental health is not stable because they're going through a bad relationship where maybe they're being abused, or whether they can't leave. That's still affecting your mental. So nothing
Mm-hmm.
can really be wrong with you, but you can really be in a situation, whether it's losing your job, or you're fighting with trying to get your kids, or any subject could mess with your mental.
Yes.
Anything can mess with your mental. That's why the environment has to be positive. That's with anything, whether you're a child or even an adult. Your environment says a lot, because if you're not encouraging and you're not uplifting and it's always toxic, what does that does? You're toxic, all that toxic energy, bad energy is going to come to what? You, because all that negative energy, it spreads.
Yes,
And I don't
negative
want that
energy
around
definitely
me. I
spread.
want positivity.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's just not a good feeling. It's just not a feeling to not be around good energy, or just be around that. Just feeling down and out, feeling depressed, you feeling
Yes.
emotions, feeling feelings being hurt. You, if you're around people that hurt your feelings, get away from them. Verbal abuse is just as worse as physical abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So verbal things that you say out your mouth is very important as well. So it's just a lot to do. The mental health is just big. May is mental health month for everyone, and then we got men's mental health month coming up, awareness
Yes.
month coming up, which is bigger than ever to me, because men never get a recognition on just checking up on them, and because we all are advocates for women, and men just
Right.
need that attentive support, to know that, hey, you have your mental has to be clear as well, and you could be going through something, because they have a big load being a provider and a lot of things they have to deal with, so mentally they might not be stable. So I'm excited for men's mental health awareness month as well. But May, mental health awareness month, I'm getting my mental together. I ain't jogged, walked, or did nothing in 20 years,
Yes.
and I've been walking for 10 days now, and I feel so much better mentally, so much better
See, it
mentally.
helps.
Yes, it helps. Even
It
I've changed my
helps.
diet. I'm changing my diet. The things that I'm consuming in my body. It's only been 2 weeks, but I am noticing the difference mentally. Mentally. So yes, guys, mental health is very important. And of course, Angie, how can Angie A. Love, I want to thank you for tuning
Yes.
in to Real Life
Of
Topics
course.
Podcast. It is such an honor. One of the best dressed, one of the best fashion icons I've ever seen. You be doing your thing. But again,
Thank
could you tell Real
you.
Life Topics Podcast and Biggs Radio audience, how could they contact Miss Angie A. Love if they want an inspiration speaker for mental health and self-care?
Yes, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Angie, Angie, space A Love, ALOVE, or Instagram, A.love underscore number one diva. Y'all come on. Cause I'ma speak and I'ma give it to you real, especially from a person who's been through it. So
That for sure, for sure. Well, it was an honor. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Angie A. Love.
yeah.
Like she said, if you guys need an inspiration, you can even inbox me. You can even inbox me if you
Yes.
need that inspirational speaker. Mental health is real. Guys, please pay attention to your mental health. Please be aware of your mental. Please be aware of what you're consuming in your body, because the things that we are eating is a part of that as well when it comes to our mental. Thank you so much, Miss Angie A. Love. You have a good evening. Thank you for tuning in to Biggs
Thank
Radio and Real Life
you.
Topics. For sure. And there
Yes.
you have it, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you for coming through to Biggs Radio, girl.
You're
And make
welcome.
sure you tune in. And make sure you tune in 24/7 on Biggs Radio. But
I
yes, guys.
will.
Yes,
Okay.
24/7. And now it's time to pay the bills, guys. It's time to pay the bills and play a couple of these commercials and make you guys aware of what's going on with Biggs Radio. I know it's a lot of talent out there. And guess what? Biggs Radio Music Conference is coming to Akron, Ohio. And I know you need to be there. You know you need to be there. And Akron, Ohio, June 27th at 3 p.m. Send over your MP3, your picture, so you can perform. Because it's nothing like performing at the Biggs Radio Music Conference. And Biggs Radio is stopping in Akron, Ohio this time around. Jeff Tite Robertson and Dinah Lynn presents June 27th. So again, if you guys want to perform in Ohio, if you're an artist, you got to perform in different states and different places. Even if you don't live in Ohio, you need to get there because it's nothing like performing at the Biggs Radio Music Conference. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to need you guys to go ahead and tune in to that. June 27th, for sure. Presents Mr. Lee's Lee on the beach. It's doing it. So you see us there. Well, there you have it, guys. Real Life Topics Podcast is in the building every Thursday night on Biggs Radio. We just had an exclusive topic and an exclusive interview. If you missed it, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We're celebrating Mental Health Awareness Month. And of course, we had a topic today talking about what happened to us because, of course, compared to 50 years ago to today, times are totally different. And I just think, and we should all realize that things just need to change. And I know it sounds like a violin to most of us, but we need to get it together. You don't want to miss it. Yes, guys. So again, June 27th. June 27th is the Biggs Radio seminar. The reason why I'm repeating this once again, because I know it is a lot of artists out there that is tuning into Real Life Topics podcast and Biggs Radio, and you gotta push what you got going on out there. So Akron, Ohio, it's one Biggs Radio Music Conference is one of the biggest music conference thus far. You need to be there if you are an artist. So just go to biggsradio@gmail.com and send your MP3 over and get to Akron, Ohio, guys. That's all I'm saying. Just get there.
Akron Music Seminar. You don't want to miss it. Get you paid. We are Biggs Radio Chicago. I'm in Akron, Ohio. Meet us there.
Be there or be square. That's all I'm saying. June 27th in Akron, Ohio. Real Life Topics will be in the building. The whole Biggs Radio team will be in the building. You need to get there or be square.
That baby. It will keep you coming back. Damn, Indianapolis.
Well, there you have it, guys. You already know what time it is and what time it's coming to. And it's coming to an end with Real Life Topics Podcast just for this Thursday. And we'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, where we converse about the dynamics of life. That's all I'm saying. But again, Real Life Topics Podcast is on Biggs Radio every Thursday at 7 p.m. Man, these exclusive topics and these exclusive interviews, the discussions is going to be crazy out this world. And of course, we're going to continue for the rest of the month to celebrate Mental Health Month, because May is Mental Health Month. Next month is Men's Mental Health Month, and it's going to be so many exclusive interviews with great entrepreneur men and great men to just discuss with you on how important it is for men's mental to be great as well. So again, guys, I want to thank Miss Angie A. Love, an advocate for mental health and self-care, for tuning in to Real Life Topics Podcast. And everyone out there that is listening, everyone that is out there that's listening internationally, Atlanta, Mississippi, Chicago, all Tennessee, everybody, Rockford, everybody, the whole wide world. Thank you for tuning in to Real Life Topics Podcast and Biggs Radio at that. If you sometimes you might not can't even make it on a Thursday night at 7 p.m. But guess what? The Kimberly Patterson show comes on at 8 p.m. So tune in to the Kimberly Patterson show. And tune in, period, 24/7. It's always something every day of the week. All type of shows, all type of great music being played on Biggs Radio. So again, if you are asleep to Biggs Radio, I'm gonna need you to wake up. Wake all the way up. There's no sleeping over here. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. So make sure you tune in next Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, where we converse about the dynamics of life, and check out the Kimberly Patterson Show in less than 5 minutes. In about 5 minutes, check out the Kimberly Patterson Show. And let's just all just food for thought. How about that? How about I leave you guys with food for thought? And we were talking about this when I was talking to Angie on how sometimes we can be our own critics, and sometimes we can critique ourselves, and we can be our own, we can sabotage our own selves. Let's go during the week without blaming ourselves for things. Let's go with the week ahead of us. Let's just go and let's just wake up every day, and let's just go a whole full week without critiquing ourselves in a negative way. How about that? Let's challenge ourselves to not blame, minimize, or justify. We are who you are. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. And don't care about what anybody else talking about or what anybody else going on. Long as you have a relationship with the man above, which is God, no one can divide and conquer anything that you got going on. So again, guys, let's just go through the week without just critiquing ourselves in a bad way. What we speak is what we are. So let's speak positivity into existence. We are the best. We number one. Have a good evening. Check out the Kimberly Patterson Show at 8 p.m. in the next couple minutes. It's your girl, Stephanie's God Shout and Carmisha the Sunflower Soul. Check us out next week at 7 p.m. It's Real Life Topics Podcast. And of course, guys, I was on air, and now I'm off air, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Real Life Topics Podcast. Everybody that was in the comments, Young Teasy, Tyrone, Miss Dinah Lynn, everybody that tuned in this evening. Make sure you guys tune in next Thursday. Check out Real Life Topics Podcast on Vibe Check Podcast within the next hour. I'll be going live, so you guys to check that out. Happy birthday to Megastar. Miss Chanel Ellis is dropping her single today. So we're going to be at the Vibe Check Podcast. And you guys just have a great evening. Remember, it is May, Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's get our mental health together, guys, because we all over the place. It's Real Life Topics Podcast. And then I'm always having an issue trying to end.